The BBC is in hot water after it came out that they totally doctored a speech Trump gave on January 6th to make it look like Trump ordered the violence that fateful day.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
You bet. Goodbye. Children!
So here's the thing. There were basically three things about January 6th. There was who started the violence, there was did Trump encourage it, and there was the election stolen. Now, we already know that the FBI probably started the riotous behavior, as Trump suggested later, and now it seems clear the media made up the part where Trump incited the violence, just as Trump also suggested. That leaves the election was stolen claim, and let's face it, he's probably going to be right about that too.
What the God damn! God damn!
By the time this is over, we're going to find out Obama was born in Kenya. Michelle is actually a man, and they really were eating the cats.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
By the way, Eat the Cats was only a year ago, a little over a year ago, in case you're wondering how fast and yet slow things feel in the Trump years. I feel like the woman in Titanic.
It's been 84 years.
It was over 100 dumpster fire episodes ago.
I look like I've aged as much as the woman in Titanic. I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. We premiere new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Please join us in the chat. If you want to keep track of everything we do, the best way is to go to Phetasy.com, see all the content we're turning out, join the community, subscribe. You guys make us happen, and there's a lot of content. Many say too much. Maybe even me.
Too many notes, Your Majesty.
Exactly. Very well put. Too many notes.
But before we get started, a quick word from our sponsor. Guys, you know I'm always thinking about the apocalypse. And when the shit goes down, when the riots are about the price of eggs and people are eating their cats, I want the right boots that I can rely on. And that's why I love my BRUNT work boots. Not just for potential apocalypse, but for any tough job or situation I might find myself in. I got the Marin boots, and they are amazing. Choosing work boots used to mean sacrificing comfort or durability. If they felt good, they didn't last. And if they lasted, they wrecked your feet. BRUNT built tough boots that felt great from day one. No break-in, no sore feet, because people doing real work shouldn't have to choose between comfort and durability. They should get both. And BRUNT stands behind what they make. You can wear them to work, and if they're not right for you, send them back. I don't know any other brand that does that. That's a company that truly believes in their product. BRUNT was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up. So they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at BRUNT when you use the code DUMPSTER at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com, use the code DUMPSTER, and you're good to go. Support the people who support our show, and also support your feet with BRUNT boots. They are amazing. There's a link in the description below. A great gift for the man in your life. Or the lesbian. All right. Back to this BBC video. Let's watch it again, just as a reminder, because we have goldfish memories.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
I want to stick my balls inside your rectum, Kyle.
Here's what's amazing. Even though this is just blatant bias and they are totally busted, the media is still trying to cover it up with headlines like these. Reuters, Trump threatens to sue BBC as UK broadcaster admits error in editing his January 6th speech. NBC News, Trump threatens to sue BBC for $1 billion over January 6th speech edit. Edit? Error? I'm sorry. These terms matter. These clips were doctored. I love how the media is like, Sorry we edited that moment in the exact way that made it look like the president of the United States was inciting a mob to overthrow the government and prevent the peaceful transfer of power that our country was founded upon. Whoops. Whoopsies, are bad. just a little mistake we made. CNN, Trump threatens to sue BBC as broadcaster faces fight for its survival. New York Times, Trump threatens to sue the BBC for $1 billion after January 6th documentary. And on and on and on like this. They continually cast Trump as the aggressor, basically saying he is threatening to defend himself. Who sounds violent in all of these headlines? Trump. Trump does.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them.
Breaking. Abused woman threatens to stop husband from beating the shit out of her. And perhaps they get into the context in the bodies of these articles, but they know full well that no one reads past the headline. It's been proven. And I know that because I saw it in a headline for an article that I didn't actually read. But because no one reads the article, what is their takeaway? That Trump is threatening to destroy a legacy media outlet for a simple and innocent editing error. Anyone could have accidentally put these two completely different moments together. Just a simple intern mistake. Did this mistake ultimately help make the case that Trump led a mob to the Capitol to murder Mike Pence and Pelosi? Sure. And in fairness, some of them might have wanted to kill them, but let he who has not maliciously doctored videos of their enemies to cast them as traitors to their own country cast the first stone.
Let's not bicker and argue about who killed who.
This is the most insidious and common type of bias. It's the kind that takes advantage of people's low critical thinking and implants ideas and words in people's heads and ultimately builds narratives that Trump has been fighting ever since he came out to run in 2015. Let's not forget the very fine people on both sides, which is a completely made up moment that depends on no one watching the rest of his comment.
I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
And is still cited by people like Obama, even in 2024.
Who said that there were very fine people on both sides of a white supremacist rally.
Ever heard of the big lie? It's a Nazi tactic. It's also something toxic chicks do to guys they cheated on. And guys do to women as well if they're cheating. It's just telling a lie so big and with no apology and no remorse and no blinking over and over until people stop questioning it. This is 1984 shit, y'all. Look, I'm not trying to be dark or sound black-pilled. I did that last week just fine. But when on top of these stories, you have Trump pushing 50-year mortgages, it's hard not to see the future as a long road to serfdom, which is why I will be stocking up on guns and ammo and Ozempic and gold. And speaking of which, we're looking for advertisers. So tell your prepper friends about our show. By the way, total side note, in the media ecosystem online sphere, people will give right-wing podcasters and right-wing networks shit for advertising gold, while their favorite podcasters are advertising for fucking DraftKings and online gambling, which is far more destructive than telling people to invest in gold. Yeah. It makes me fucking crazy. I don't ever want to hear shit from anyone if their favorite podcaster or their favorite network, which is everyone now, just like everything is gambling. We should do a whole fucking episode on it. I don't want to hear anything about it from you. I'll advertise gold before I advertise for fucking sports betting any day of the week. All right? So kiss it.
Buy gold today. It's better than gambling. It's gold.
Don't forget to subscribe, touch my bells and buttons. You have to stick around through the ad to see the weather report, you guys. Sorry, them's the rules. I do feel like I belong in a 90s sitcom with this hair. It's so sassy. Everyone in the Dumpster Fire audience knows we're genuinely concerned with the welfare of your balls. So if you're looking for the perfect pair of jeans to pull over your perfect ball-supporting underwear, look no further than The Perfect Jean! The Perfect Jean rescues your nuts from stiff cardboard denim and cradles them in comfort. These jeans fit like they were custom made and stretch like you wouldn't believe, and the fabric is insanely soft. My husband got a pair. He's the consumer in the house. He loves them. He said they're the softest, most comfortable pair of jeans he's ever had. And that he feels like if he got into a fight, he'd be uninhibited. Like he'd really be able to do a good karate kick. And I think he really looks good in them, which is all that matters. Also defending my honor. It's finally time to stop crushing your balls in the uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code Bridget15 at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code Bridget15. Fuck your khakis. Speaking of January 6th and the feds, and get the perfect jean. You don't want to look like a fed inciting a riot on January 6th? Link in the description below. All right, now let's shut the weather with Nora Gayola.
De los rayos solares. Temperaturas para mañana, viernes mínimas de 23, máximas alcanzando los 40 grados centígrados. Para sábado y domingo las mínimas son de 23 y de 24 y las máximas por encima de los 41 y la sensación térmica todavía puede llegar alrededor de los 45 grados centígrados para que lo tomen en cuenta. Lunes arrancamos la...
Thank you, Nora. It looks like as we go to record, the shutdown is finally coming to an end. Some Senate Democrats reached a deal with the GOP leaders, giving them enough votes to break the Senate filibuster and bringing us a step closer to ending the government shutdown. It's now moving to the House. The shutdown that the Democrats blamed on the Republicans and Trump. And yet now that the Democrats caved without getting anything, pundits at late night hosts are freaking out and having meltdowns, and they're furious that the Democrats caved.
So yes, the shutdown may have been long and painful for millions of Americans, but at least it achieved jack squat. They say, why can't you all just work together to address the problems that are facing this country? Because the country is being run by insane people.
So at least they admit it was the Democrats inflicting all of this suffering. I love the Schrodinger shutdown where it's like, oh, this is Trump and the Republicans. And then the minute it ends, they're like, we ended this too soon and we got nothing. You're like, well, which one fucking is it? Do you take responsibility for doing this and holding the whole country hostage so that you can win elections and get your way? Or is it the Republicans who are mean and doing this? I loathe shutdown politics. I don't even know where they came from. I don't even understand them, frankly. How can you just use the government as a political pawn and all the people that work for it? Democrats couldn't even pretend that this wasn't about winning the elections. So Senate Democrats caved on the shutdown and made people poor and miserable before the elections. They didn't even try to hide it. They could have at least faked a fight for a few weeks. Instead, they went, yay, Mamdani's the mayor now, let's go. And then they opened things up. I do think the beginning of the end of the government shutdown is really all about flying. You know what my solution to end the shutdown would have been? Ground all the private jets and watch how quickly that shit comes to an end. It would have been an agreement immediately in Congress. People aren't eating? Who cares? As soon as holiday flights were threatened, it became a crisis.
People will die.
Americans are so funny. They're like, I don't care if people are starving, but my flight better get to fucking Tulsa or I'm pissed. I do find it interesting because it gets to a point where you can start feeling the agitation from everybody. And both parties rely on those kind of factory setting voters and think that they will blame the other side, which they usually will. But Americans do get to a point where they just start saying, I hate all of you. You're cool. I don't care who's to blame. Any kid of divorce knows this. At first you pick sides and you go with whatever parent you think will give you the most. And then you realize that both parents are kind of in their own head and they somewhat suck. And then you just want someone to feed you. You're like, I don't care if mom cheated on you. I just need to get to fucking soccer practice. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear whose fault the end of this marriage is. Right now, Americans are all just children in a divorce where we're like, shut up, stop fighting. I need to go to school.
Are you driving me to...
Yes. What time?
All of our leaders are out of touch on the economy. This is the problem. And here's what I've learned in my years of having 82 cents in my bank account, an actual screenshot fact I can prove, and something rich guys I used to date would love jerking off to. It's easy to fake being rich. It's impossible to fake being poor. You just can't. You don't know it unless you know it. It's like going to Burning Man. And it's always like right when I'm starting to be like, fucking Trump. Like, what? I don't regret. Listen, no one will ever convince me that he's worse than Kamala. Not in 10 million years. But I do worry that, Trump starts getting very Trumpy, and he's also a silent generation bordering on boomer. And they're just very out of touch when it comes to the economy. And I'm like, he's going to screw the pooch. He's going to f this up. He had this mandate, he ran on populism, and he's now doubling down on stupid boomer economy takes and gaslighting young Americans about their financial insecurity and the feeling that they can't ever get ahead. He's a fucking madman. We know this. He's our madman, but he's falling asleep in meetings. We'll get to that. He's turning the White House into the freaking Taj Mahal, draping everything in gold. He's completely out of touch when it comes to normies and what they can afford. He's going to try and rename it the Gold House. I'm convinced of this now. I am convinced. He's going to be like, it's called the Gold House now. The White House? That's racist. It's the Gold House. Don't you want to change it to something not racist, America? Mark my words. Mark my words. Speaking of being out of touch with the average American and how they feel, Trump recently doubled down on his bad boomer economy takes of gaslighting Americans about how they feel in these Laura Ingraham interviews that he did. And he was like, what's the big deal? What's a 50-year mortgage? What? It's just an extra 10 years. And she was like, yeah, it's not 10 years. It's 30. And now there's all these memes going around that's like, it's an 80-year mortgage. What does it cost?
$10?
I've been around rich people talking about health insurance, and they have no idea what the difference between an HMO and a PPO is, because they've been rich for so long and they've had boutique healthcare and they literally have no idea. And I'm always like, never admit this in public. Okay? At least pretend you know something about what it's like to be a poor, but they really don't. And by the way, people in the comments were like, grocery prices aren't going up. They are. It's called the Consumer Price Index. Go look it up. It's actually true. They're going up. And maybe not eggs. Maybe eggs came down because all the birds that they called have been repopulated in our lab-grown horrific ways that we get our food. But just because eggs came down doesn't mean other things went up. And maybe I particularly feel this because in my family, we live on a solid diet of coffee, bananas, and meat. And that is 3 of the things that have gone up the most. So maybe I have a little bit of a bias. But I also don't believe that all these guys in my comments are the ones in the grocery store doing the shopping, not to be sexist. All right. And then, right when I'm getting mad about Trump's boomerism, something like this BBC story comes out and they get me back.
Gotcha, bitch.
Some people are like, what's the big deal, Bridget? What's the big deal? Who cares if BBC did this tiny little edit or made this error? I have family members who think a seditionist is president. I have people out of the country who will not visit America because of January 6th. It is crazy to me that you think that this kind of malicious editing of video, doctoring videos, is not a big deal when it comes to how we are presenting something as important as January 6th. Am I crazy?
No, it's absolutely true.
And here's what I know about Americans. We will put up with a lot of bullshit from our elected officials, even self-enriching themselves in the stock market while they hold office. As long as our flight where we're sitting between 2 morbidly obese people is running somewhat on time, and by somewhat I mean within 2 or 3 hours. We are in this agreement with our leaders that you can be pieces of shit who don't care about us at all, who will gamble with our suffering and our food supply and with all of these things as long as we still get some of those conveniences, like, flying. We live in a shithole country. For all the talk about shithole countries, what is more shithole than these planes not even being able to take off? And it's bananas. And Americans will put up with so much, but then they reach the end.
I was talking to my parents about my holiday flights, and they were worried the whole flight issue wouldn't be resolved by then. And I was like, there will be riots if this is not resolved by the holidays.
Maggie, there's not going to be riots. People only riot when drug addicts get killed by the police.
What is she saying?
That's the only time, apparently, people riot. On a lighter note, Ozempic prices are down. You see what I did there? A healthcare executive, this is just a funny story that I couldn't ignore. A health executive collapsed in the Oval Office during the announcement of lower prices for obesity drugs.
And creating high-value jobs. But today, are you okay? Gordon, you okay? Yeah.
Press, we're going. Thank you, Press.
And of course, all of America was like, vaxxed? Like the minute he went down, it was just like, vaxxed? The press conference was classic for so many reasons. This guy collapsed, and Trump was just standing around looking furious that there's weakness around him at all, while people huddled around him. And then later pictures came out where it looked like Trump was sleeping during the announcement. RFK Jr. appeared to run away after the guy collapsed. Allegedly, he was getting a chair, but it looks like he's just like, I'm out. He seriously looked like he looked over, the guy fell down, and he's like, I gotta get
sickness, run away.
Everyone in that room was like, sickness? It's ironic that during a press announcement from drug companies where you're talking about health, one of your top executives just passes the out in the middle of it. Shouldn't you be an example of health? Also, I don't want a fat doctor telling me what to do. And I hate the fact that everyone in healthcare smokes. We don't need people dying on set of these announcements. When I was watching the video of this happening, I zoomed in just to focus on Trump because I knew it would be some kind of fucking classic Trump face or something. And sure enough, he's just standing there and he's like, looking right at the press. First, he's looking down at them, and then he's looking at the press while, like, everybody is huddled around this sick guy. Now, mind you, this is during the shutdowns when SNAP benefits are getting cut off. And there was on left-wing Twitter a pretty funny meme that was going around that's like, nothing represents America more than this image right now of just people huddled around sick people who collapsed and Trump just like looking at, kind of befuddled. But we all know what the real problem is here. And it's all these dudes are so freaking old. Okay? I think people are just sick of old politicians. We need more public shaming of them. They refuse to retire or pass the torch. They're collapsing left and right. How often do these people go out and have strokes or collapse on television? It's crazy. I think so much of the Gen Z angst comes from just feeling that frustration of like, why do we have people who should be in nursing homes collapsing and running this country while they can't even get ahead? I don't want these olds running the country anymore. I've been saying this for 6 years, and they're still the same olds running the country. And then, of course, there's the announcement itself, which came while the government was shut down and grocery bills are still going up, despite what you want to believe in my comments. So the White House was like, well, we can't give you any SNAP, but we can lower the price of Ozempic, so you won't want to eat anyway. I mean, it's actually brilliant when you think about it. A nation of people with loose morals and even looser skin, all on UBI, living in pods, eating bugs because you've developed an aversion to meat from the bioengineered tick that bit you. But you won't have to buy groceries. You won't even care about the price. You won't need to know. No one will need groceries. You will own nothing. Let them eat Ozempic!
Phetasy news.
If you love Dumpster Fire, the best thing you can do is become a paid supporter. I mean this. It is truly the best thing you can do. You guys are part of something special, something unique, something crazy. The community is amazing. I will say that. Yeah. I love our supporters and subscribers and the people who follow us here. But We're going to start putting more behind the scenes stuff in the behind the paywall too, because there's just too much goodness out there. And you get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire, and we leave a lot of inappropriate things on the cutting room floor. You also get access to everything else we're doing. As I mentioned, it's a lot. Join us on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central for a new Dumpster Fire. Thank you to everyone who helps make Dumpster Fire possible. Thank you, Ben, Kevin, Marlene, and Better Phetasy. Thank you to Brunt and the Perfect Gene for sponsoring today's episode. Thank you to all of you. Most of all, we love you. And thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
And now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
I don't know if I told you, but I'm myself again. I'm recovered, liberated by my own discipline, I guess. Looks like clarity is my final form. I need to tell everyone how good I feel. This will be my entire personality. The air just feels different now. I feel like a monk on a mountain. I guess it's time to find a religion to be obnoxious about. Maybe something Asian. If I don't talk about sobriety, things get bad. Nowadays, I love just waking up. My hand shakes when I don't bring up my life story. I cannot wait to brag about my Asian religion. Life on Instagram is gonna look a whole lot different for me now. Us sobers, we connect with Asians. They're spiritual. Hey world, I'm sober. I finally have time to iron my towels. Might have too much time. I don't think I can do this. I don't think so. It's a lot being sober. I might just smoke and judge people who drink. I think that's healthier.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich so I can be detached and not know what the cost of anything is.
And the unicorns dance